Yeah, let's bring Justin in.
Justin, come on in here.
Our resident
Dude, how you
football expert.
Doing good.
You're the expert.
What's
How are you,
doing?
dude?
Doing good. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
What's going on?
Looking good. I like that. I got the tie.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. Huh?
There's only so many orange ties I own. but,
Exactly.
You know, I try to pull
You
them out on
got
Mondays.
them all. You got them all. It's looking good. So did the Broncos defense. So
Well,
glad
yeah,
to see that.
defense. I mean, this had to be one of the craziest games of the year to me. With Peyton running off, not available, saying he's not going to play. Brock comes in. Terrible series for Brock Osweiler. What are you going to do? I mean, you just kind of get thrown in the mix. You don't go for it on 4th and 1 down there. You kick the field goal. But the defense in the second half really made the
Two
difference.
interceptions.
Yeah.
And
Two huge interceptions. The biggest one I thought was by Aqib Talib.
Yeah.
You know, the game was still
That
in the
just stopped
balance.
it. Yeah.
Just stopped it. And then you get another field goal by Connor Barth. I mean, which is a great pickup.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
Clearly
the pickup
now
of the
it's
year.
Well, it's
wonderful.
perfect so far. So you look
it's
you
all
look like
playoffs,
a
right?
genius
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
picking Connor Barth up at this point. 11 for 11 to start the season.
Definitely.
So with all the things that happened, as you heard Ben Higgins say, it's great to nitpick a victory on a Monday morning. I'll take this one. I mean, in San Diego, they had a must-win situation. You run the ball
Tough
effectively, not spectacular running game, but effective enough to win the game. And I'll take it. 11-3, and you're the division champs again for the 4th year in a row.
Yeah, and that's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, you know, John Fox is only coach to do it for the second time in NFL history to win 4 division championships in a row, and that's not easy at all. And then we forget he's also won 10 road divisional games too, and so he's the second coach to do that as well. So that's something amazing to see him do, and something amazing to see this team do. And if we would have thought about this earlier when they played against St. Louis, about this team being able to win games by not only running the football but without Peyton Manning, I mean, we didn't think that would be able to happen.
Impossible.
No.
Yeah, if we a couple weeks ago, if we said, 14 for 20, and Manning only has a little over 200 yards, you'd be like, oh boy, we're going to lose that one. And now we're like, oh, that just happens. We have a running game now.
Exactly. And you know what? It's not pretty football, but it's winning football, and that's what this team needs if they're going to, let's be honest, go to New England and win the playoffs.
Well, New England was impressive yesterday and just pounding the Dolphins. So they're still in the lead for the number 1 seed with 2 games to go. Broncos have to go to Cincinnati.
Yes.
Yes. But we have Peyton and not Johnny Football, so that's good news going into Cincinnati.
Yes.
And so, given yesterday, do you think Brady MVP? In the contention then?
Without a doubt. I think it was pretty much sealed yesterday, especially with the game that Aaron Rodgers had. I mean, he had 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. And we'll talk about that later on in the fantasy segment. But not a great game there by Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they're in the 6th seed. They're on the brink of not even being in the playoffs. You talk about the Packers.
That's crazy.
For New England, they're just dominant right now. They're a dominant football team. They could beat you any way. And they have the Achilles heel that the Broncos really going to struggle against, is that's covering Rob Gronkowski, and the Broncos really struggle covering against elite tight ends.
A lot of people blasting John Fox again for the play calling at the end of the first half, although he doesn't call the plays, he does approve the plays. And say, well, if without Peyton Manning, John Fox doesn't win 4 division titles in a row, that he's tied to Peyton Manning.
Yes.
But, I mean, look, they did it with Tebow. They've done it with Peyton. But Belichick is tied to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
If you have an elite quarterback, you're a great coach.
Yeah, it helps you out a whole lot if you have a guy.
Doesn't hurt.
A guy who maybe could throw the ball to the right guy, in the right jersey, and not, like Jay Cutler, who likes to throw interceptions a lot, That kind of helps out a little bit. And you're able to progress your offense, always stay on schedule, and that's what the Broncos are able to do. So it's great having a quarterback like Peyton.
Yeah. So you're a happy
Even a
guy.
sick one. Even a sick Peyton
Even a sick one, yes.
Yeah.
With a thigh injury.
Thigh injury, grimacing, looked ashen.
Walking around. There was one shot of him running when he had to escape the pocket in the second half where he's like barely able to walk. But still getting the job done. The beautiful pass to Demarius for the touchdown in the third quarter.
28-yarder,
great back shoulder pass.
Nice.
It was amazing. I mean, and with the hurt leg and everything. By the way, speaking of the hurt leg, I know he didn't injure it on this play, but that block that he threw, what were your thoughts immediately when he did that?
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's what the coach
Please, We'll kick the field goal anyway. Please don't throw yourself into the line
do that.
of an oncoming linebacker.
Like
That was not the best thing in the world.
Yeah, definitely.
But when he ran off and did like that, I'm out of here.
Enough of this.
Time me to go. I'm going this way. Yeah. Hey, but one other thing though to talk about with this team that it could be easily looked over is the depth that this team had. You lose a lot of guys on the offensive line.
We have 15 seconds until we go to a weather update. So come back and let's talk about that.
Let's do it.
2 linebackers, Trevathan and Marshall, worrisome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, injuries. Gosh, all right. Lisa, we'll check in with you. Is it going to warm up anytime?
Hey, boy, you 3 over there, Yeah, it is going to warm up a little bit, maybe a couple of degrees. Not by much, though. We've got temperatures this morning. They're in the 20s. We'll be close to 40 this afternoon. So Storm Station 7 tracking storm as it rolls out. This system now moving north and east of Colorado. You're still going to find some light snow across northeastern Colorado, but no more alerts. At this point, everything has either canceled out or expired. We're looking at a mix of sun and clouds in Denver right now with a little more clearing through the afternoon. And when you look at our power plant, our highs today right around 39 to 40 degrees between about noon and 2. So it's cool today. We don't get a huge warm up, you guys. We'll be in the upper 30s to low 40s. And we've got a chance for a little bit of snow come Wednesday into Thursday, so maybe another light round. I want more. How fun was it watching the game yesterday with it snowing out?
It was pretty out.
Although it's tough to watch San Diego, and you're like, oh, man, that looks gorgeous.
It does look nice. 76 degrees and sunny like every day.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough out there.
Please, be awesome.
I know, that sounds
Good
good.
to see that.
So, Justin, we went to Lisa. We were talking about injuries. Brandon Marshall went down with a foot,
Yes.
MRI today.
Yeah.
Danny Trevathan, the knee. That was so
knee again.
terrible to see
Yeah.
after the rehab, which is so lonely. Just
Yes,
trying to.
exactly.
He gets back his first game back off IR, and he goes off with a knee injury. It doesn't look serious, but he's in pain. He's going to have an MRI as well. Yeah. If Marshall and Trevathan, the two play callers on defense, are both out for any extended period of time here as we hit the playoffs, that's going to hurt the Broncos.
Huge. And now you're relying on Steven Johnson, who's a guy who, when he came out of the University of Texas, led the NCAA in tackles. But again, there's a difference between having a guy like a Danny Trevathan or a Brandon Marshall for experience purposes and also to cover, again, the tight end purposes. So you need guys like that who are able to fill in the gaps. And if the Broncos don't have that, they'll have a huge hole at linebacker.
Right. Now, look, Peyton was sick with flu-like symptoms. So we don't know if he has the official flu or not.
Right.
Hopefully not, because that thing can spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
Although the
whole
professional
team,
teams handle sickness very well, because they got doctors they can pay to do anything to stop this from progressing. And I think the MVP yesterday was the IV guy, as John Fox said.
Yeah.
Well, we have IV guys, and Peyton got 4 IVs and able to play. Hopefully he feels better. Hopefully it's not a flu outbreak.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Chock full of
see.
B12, no doubt.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not bad. Hey, and don't forget the Broncos get an extra day of rest to play it on Monday night against Cincinnati, so that definitely will help out. And hopefully they could get healthy, especially when they, I call this their last game of the season. Let's be honest. The Raiders, not really a football game.
Right, at Cincinnati, the Raiders.
Yeah, so you
here
get
at
a
home.
chance to get some, some rest. Win this next game, you get a bye week of the playoffs for sure.
Right.
And they're going to need it with, especially all the injuries they have.
Well, back in the day, when the Colts would clinch a division title, they wouldn't play Peyton Manning in the last game. I know a couple times they've come here, the Colts, to play the Broncos on the final game of the season, and Jim Sorgi would get the start because they had already clinched. So I don't know if John Fox would do the same. If they beat Cincinnati and then they have the Raiders here at home, I don't know if they give Brock the full game and just say we're pulling it back, because although they could be in a race for that final AFC #1 spot. If the Chargers, if the Patriots lose their last game and the Broncos were to beat the Raiders, there could be a switch there. So who knows? But
You may want to go full force.
Yeah, it could happen. And don't forget, the Broncos will know if they're going to be playing for, the top seed if they beat Cincinnati.
Right.
Because New England will play the early game. So it's very important to remember. So even if that does happen, you may say Peyton, trot out for a series, and then he's done and just shut it down.
That might be so.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Very good.
all right,
Thank you,
Justin.
sir.
Thanks, man. We'll
See
see
you
you
in a
for
bit
fantasy
for,
football in a few
That's
minutes.
it. Good to see you guys.
Fantasy?